Hello guys, and welcome back to a new section in our Learning Bootstrap 4 course. Today's section is called Introduction to Bootstrap 4 with SaSS, and we'll be taking a look at the following videos. Setting up Bootstrap with SaSS, where we will learn how to get us started with Bootstrap and SaSS. Adding an example starter page, we'll just quickly pull in some example pages from the Bootstrap docs to get us started. Creating our first Bootstrap page where we will be in control of all the HTML, CSS, and SaSS, and of course cleaning up our markup with SaSS and adding our own personality with overrides. So to get us started with this section, let's move on to our first video, setting up Bootstrap with SaSS. So in this video we're going to take a look at the file and folder structure of the Bootstrap SaSS or source files, how to best set up our Koala app to compile not only Bootstrap but our CSS as well. How does our project structure look like in terms of Bootstrap and in terms of what we have to do, and what are some of the best practices here? Can we and how can we change Bootstrap SaSS files? And finally, how to integrate the complete build process into our workflow. So to get us started, we first need to download Bootstrap 4 source files from the Bootstrap website. Because previously, as you might have remember, we only downloaded the compiled CSS and JS files. So to download the source files, we have to go to the Bootstrap 4 page. We have to go to the download page and click on source files, where it will give us the download source button, which will essentially go to their GitHub repository and download the latest release, like I said, which is at the moment Alpha 6. So once we grab those files, we will see that inside of the downloaded zip file there are a lot of files and folders, and currently the only folder we are interested in is called SaSS. So what we are actually going to do is we are going to copy over and rename that folder into our SaSS folder and then vendor, because if you might remember, we created that folder to put third-party code into our project, and this is exactly the case. So we are going to put all of those SaSS files into our Bootstrap folder. And if we do that and open up our text editor, which is Sublime, you will see that we actually have a lot of files which are mostly partials. Now, as you can see, Bootstrap uses SaSS naming structure where they name each partial, like close, code, forms, grid, with an underscore, and they only remove the underscore on the actual SaSS files that will be used to compile. So just to follow up on their naming conventions, I've actually quickly renamed all of our partials, which were in the partials and modules folder, to have an underscore, and updated those values in our main layout.scss file. So now we are all on the same page as Bootstrap. And now to get us up and running with Bootstrap SaSS, we could do two things. We could actually include this Bootstrap SCSS file on top of our layout.scss file and basically create one single CSS file with both Bootstrap code and our code, or we could compile it separately and then call it separately like this. So I prefer this second way, which is exactly what we are going to do. So in our Koala, now we have a few more options. So this is our layout.scss file, which compiles to css/style.css. And we've also put the output style to expand it because we want to be able to read our code for now. So now what we have to do is we actually have to compile all of the Bootstrap code. So we have three options right here. We can compile only the Bootstrap grid CSS, only the reset part of their code, or the whole thing. So we want to compile the whole thing, and more importantly, we want the output path to be css bootstrap.min.css as well as the output style compressed. So once we hit compile, you are going to have to wait a bit longer this time because it's a bigger file, but then we get this bootstrap.min.css file, and of course this is the map for that file that Koala produces. If we again take a look at our page, you will see that everything is working. We can even access the Bootstrap min code, so everything is as it was, but right now we are actually using the Bootstrap SaSS files instead of precompiled CSS files.